review is Top Gun Maverick. Um, I have not seen the original Top Gun, so that's what I'm going to do tonight. But that review will not come until I finish what I'm watching right now, which is um, it's a series on Netflix, another Netflix movie. Um, Judging from what I'm watching right now, it's okay, but we'll see. But anyways, Top Gun Maverick. Um, from what I hear, it's a very good sequel. So I have to watch the original because I can't really judge too much from number one to number two on how it is a good sequel. But I can give you my 2 cents on this movie. So this movie stars Tom Cruise, and that's all I'm gonna name right now because that's all I can remember. This wine is doing the trick. Um, yeah, this movie stars Tom Cruise in. Again, I haven't seen number one, so I can't really, understand fully what's going on. But I'm just gonna try my best to give you what I thought about the movie. Tom Cruise, I can say, in this movie, isn't necessarily a rule follower. He breaks the rules for what he believes is the greater good, which in turn pisses the Navy off. So he keeps getting, let's just use the word suspended. He keeps getting suspended from certain things in certain certain roles because he keeps doing things he's not supposed to do. In the first scene, I guess they're testing some jet to see if it can push what was it, Mach 9. He pushes it to Mach 10 and explodes and seemingly gets terminated. But his friend, who we figure out later is Ice, or Iceman, who goes by the name Iceman in the movie, puts in a good word for him, and he goes back to the Top Gun project, where he can train, his students. For plot, so we're in plot now. For plot, it's a pretty decent plot. It's not like any generic movie where it's introduces to the main character, conflict, solution. It's very it's its own thing. Because I guess in the other Top Gun movie, Tom Cruise's character has to go through the grief of losing someone he considered a really good friend in the Navy while within a jet. This person dies and this person's son is in this movie, and it's I feel like they did a good job by not having the son of the person who died or of the pilot who died hold a grudge against Tom Cruise's character for that specific reason. There's another reason the character hates or the character dislikes Tom Cruise's character. And it's not entirely because, or I would say, it's not because his father was killed in the jet. He doesn't hold that grudge against him for that. It's an entirely different reason. And I feel like before this movie leaves theaters, you should go see it. For plot, I'll give it a 4. Only because it's not something I've seen often, but I've seen it done before. They did try to change it up so it's not like that generic film type thing. You are working well, my buddy. Ah! Cheers. It's not that generic film type plot, but it is something we've seen before. So not often, but we've seen it before. So I give plot a 4. I'm sorry. Let me look up. That's how lit I am. That's how lit I am off of this. I have to go into my notes to look at how I grade these movies. All right, tone. For tone, I'll say tone was very intense during this movie. There were scenes where Tom is meeting the girl he was in love with or infatuated with back then, and they finally meet her again, and then it's this thing occurs in this bar. The Navy pilots are meeting each other at the pool table, and they're having conflicts, and this is happening. helicopter and the test runs for the jets and this person's in G lock and he's about to crash, but he wakes up and it's like the movie's very tense throughout the whole film. So like even in the chill parts, they find that like way to make it tense throughout the entire movie. I was tense the entire movie. Even when I was chilling during the movie, it was kind of like, oh, this movie's like it's very like it's kind of like it keeps you on the edge of your seat, but appropriately throughout the whole movie. It knows how to, you know, keep you anticipating what's about to happen in the chill moments. But when things are dangerous and people are like in real danger, you can't even lay down because in our theater we have reclining seats. But I had to put my chair upright to watch the final act. I was like, oh my goodness, I was shook. So for tone, honestly, I'll give it a five. They kept up the consistency, 100%. Tone, five. Loved it. They kept it intense. It was funny. The humor worked. It was sad. It was energetic. Everything just worked for me. Pace. Nothing much for pace. Pace was fine. Like that movie was not rushed at all. Pace gets a five. We got two fives so far. Pace gets a five. Acting, bruh. Jennifer Connelly, Tom Cruise. What's his name? Let me look this guy up right now. What's his name? Miles Teller. Jennifer Connelly, Tom Cruise, Miles Teller killed it in the roles. I don't care what anybody says. Um, there's not much I can dislike from the acting. There was some scenes where it was kind of like, okay, you could have delivered that line a little better, but acting overall was fire. I like this movie. Acting gets a five. Wow, there's a lot of fives going on. Who knows? Cinematography. So now we're at cinematography. Guys, I'm sorry I keep looking at my phone for the list and how I grade movies. This wine is doing its trick. Like a lot. But for cinematography, we have there were scenes that were very like real because in the beginning of the movie, Tom Cruise, actual Tom Cruise, not Tom Cruise in character, Tom Cruise says, "We want to give you the best experience we could for this movie. It's been a work in progress, real F-18s. I think that's just I think that's yeah, that's what it's called." He said real F-18s, so that's a jet, real F-18s, real speed, real footage. So these are actual jets. So the way they captured everything in the movie, the way they captured, there's like in the beginning scene where he's flying the test jet. There is this like sonic boom blows the roof off of this like this security type thing, and it works. It just works. Some of the cinematography works. Some was kind of for me, but the majority of the film I was like, yeah, I like it. So cinematography gets a four for me. Not a 4.5 because it wasn't close to excellent. It was just like, some shots work, some were iffy, but the majority of it was amazing. So for plot we got what I give plot. Plot I give a four. Tone, I give a five. Acting, pace, I give a five. Acting, I give a five. Cinematography, I gave a four. So we have three fives and two fours. Top Gun Maverick gets an estimated score of a five. Remember, when we review these movies, it's not in a sum of what I graded each category. It's an estimate of what score each category gets. So if there is like four fives and one four, the movie's gonna be a five because the majority of the scores were five. Just so you understand. This movie was very amazing. Again, there is some minor nitpicks like every movie, but those nitpicks are greatly outweighed by the good in this movie. This is not a film you watch in your house, and if you watch it in your house, have a very good surround sound because your regular TV speaker will not do it justice. Um, this is a film I recommend everyone go see in theaters before it gets out. Again, if you don't see it in theaters, do not watch this regularly. This movie will not be as good as it was in theaters. It will have you on the edge of your seat. I think all the actors did a great job. And yeah, this was the Top Gun Maverick review. I will see you next time. The next time I see you actually will be another film vlog for another film I'm gonna review. So you will see that when it comes. Deuces.